Let's win this game. SKOL Vikings, honor your name. Go get that first down, then get a touchdown. Rock 'em, sock 'em, fight, 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 fight. Go Vikings, run up the score. You'll hear us yell for more. V-I-K-I-N-G-S. SKOL Vikings, let's go!
What's up, party people? It's T-Money here with episode 13 of Voices of Vikings podcast. As always, I've got the two best co-hosts with me here. I got Joey Two Hands and your boy D. How's it going, guys?
I usually say we're doing great, but today we're a little sick, so we're getting through.
Oof.
That's about that time of the
Playing
year,
injured.
especially in Minnesota
Playing
when you
injured.
go from like 0 degrees to 55 in one day, back down to like 10. It's a good time.
Facts.
Rallying around the toughness. How you doing, D?
True. We're doing pretty good. Oh, wait, that's not right. Hold on, try that again. What it do, baby?
It's been a while since the last cast, so
I kind of forgot how to
not
intro.
used to the intros, right? Feels like a little second bye week. It's been a week and 2 days, so good to be back with you, dudes. Good to be talking about a Vikes dub. Beat the Steelers, so that was super fun. Obviously, super fun to go up 29 rip. A little bit shaky, but got the win, so talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about our division here too, so that obviously is good to get the dub. Packers beat the Bears, so didn't really gain any ground there, but I think our play at this point is for wild card, so just good to get a win.
Yeah, definitely. There's no catching the Packers this year with their couple of wins, even though we beat them once. They're just winning games, what we haven't been able to do. A lot of close ones. Again, another close one on Thursday against the Steelers. Would have been nice to have more of a statement win there. Having them come back after we go up 29-0, that's never fun. Halftime we're sitting there, we're all drinking, we're all happy, and then, middle of the fourth quarter, it's like, what the hell happened? So, a little opposite. Yeah, right. It's a little opposite of what's happened this whole year. Is we go
not
up
prepared for this
early, and we're usually not able to hold on. So it's good to at least hold on to one. Tough to have that come back from them, but good to still win
I'd
one.
agree with that.
Those jerseys are.
Yeah. Primetime purple's looking good.
But yeah, no. I was thinking we were very fortunate that Chase Claypool is just, to put it nicely.
Yeah, what you got, D? Hit me with it.
I mean, you look at it, and for him to try to showboat on getting a first down just on a regular catch, when they're down, there's 30-some seconds left, and they're down by 8 points. No timeouts at all. And he celebrates the first down in the middle of the field. And then when his lineman comes over and realizes, hey, you're being an idiot, we need to get the ball in and snap it so we can get this clock stopped. He goes and he sits there, and the entire time they're lining up, he's staring at him, talking to him. And then as soon as they snap the ball and spike it and clock's dead, he goes and just starts raging at him. I'm like, you're such an idiot, dude.
Yeah.
He does.
He got roasted by Ryan Clark. Pretty sly play, though, by Kendricks there, too. Just kind of slid his hand up in there, maybe batted that ball a little bit out of the way. Whoops. I was just walking by, no big deal. So, he's got the hair for it. Heady play. So, good to get the win. Like we said, can't catch the pack. Bears lost to the Packers 45-20. So 45-30, whatever it was, yeah. So they're way out ahead, and we know where the Lions are at, so I don't know what they do last week, Joe.
The Lions ended up losing to the Broncos. Bit of a stomp. I had it 38-10 was the final. Puts them at 1-11-1 on the season. I don't know who that one win is, but that team, a little weird. But they play the Cardinals this week at home. So probably another loss, but you never know. It's football.
Yeah, any given Sunday. Cardinals are kind of hobbled right now. They lost to the Rams, so you never know. If we've learned anything through this season, it's that any game, comes down to one play.
You ever seen that movie? Any given Sunday?
Well, oh, yeah. Great flick.
My favorite scene is the scene that I can't talk about here.
Got it. Noted. Moving on. Cool. Packers this week go play the Ravens, so hopefully that'll be a loss for the Pack, just because that's always fun. Best kind of Sunday out there when the Vikes get a dub, although it'll be Monday night this week, and the Chiefs lose, so looking forward to that. Vikes are playing the Bears Monday Night Football. Hopefully we're wearing the all-whites like we did last year or the year before. I think it was last year. It'd be kind of cool. I always play better when you look better, so it'd be nice to be looking fly. But 8:20 Monday Night Football game. Pretty hyped for that. But before we do that, because we have an order here, there's an order of operations. We keep things, ship shape around here. Got to get to the highlights, the players that stood out last week's game in this week's segment. Segment of dawgs. Just sounds like I sneezed.
Bless you. We'll start with that. Bless you. So, to start off with, dawgs. Wow, it's supposed to be something in the air, for sure.
Bless you.
Offensively, pretty simple here. He's in the kitchen. He's cooking. What's he cooking up? He's cooking up a fat L for those Steelers. Other than Dalvin Cook, he had 27 rushes for 205 and 2 tutties. Great to see that coming off of him not playing the week before. Just absolutely, he had that brace on. They even said at the beginning of the game. I don't know if you heard that ever. I don't know if anybody mentioned that.
Did he have a brace on? Yeah, I think I heard it probably 50 to 75 times. I think
that was just in the first
every
quarter.
time he touched the ball. Like, oh yeah, he's wearing a brace. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, hey, I'll take it. I'm talking about a brace. Way over Joe Buck being like, who else could wear a brace? Probably Aaron Rodgers.
True.
Like, he just throws Aaron into everything. Like, he'd be playing, he's sitting there and he goes, all right, yeah, and so let's have a word from our sponsor. And he goes, speaking of sponsors, you know who else is sponsored? Aaron Rodgers. Like, get out of here.
Puke. Now we're doing it. But I did bet a shot for the first time Joe Buck mentioned Aaron Rodgers and did not take that shot. So actually, for once, he didn't talk about Karen at all. So, back to Dalvin.
But anyway, huge game for him with that brace on. They had said, aside from the whole thing we talked about when they talked about his brace, that the last time that he played with a brace like that, he went and had 2 touchdowns and like 200-some yards.
Yeah. So
what does he do? He goes out and does the exact same thing. So I say this week, even if that thing's not hurting, get the brace on. Just get it on. Yeah. So that puts him at 198 rushes on the season for about 978 and 6 touchdowns.
Nice.
So also a little highlight too we can celebrate about. He was named the FedEx Ground Player of the Week. So great accolade for him. Love to see when our players get stuff like that, like when JJ got NFC Player of the Week, Player of the Month, I believe. Just little things like that all makes a difference. So, Cookie, no.
You.
one short of his career record for rushing yards.
Cookie?
To tie it, that is. Two to pass. Yep. 206 was his career record. So,
yep.
With a... Oh, it was,
I think
actually.
that was against the Bears, too.
Purple Daily, another Vikings podcast, they were talking about it. To come off of an injury like that, where you're expected to miss like 3 to 4 weeks, and to come back after 11 days and be able to almost tie your career record is
he had
incredible.
said he didn't even realize it either. Like, somebody had mentioned it, and he said, I don't care about the stats. You know, like, if what matters to him is that the team gets the win. So he didn't even realize until some people had said something about it or whatnot, and he kind of looks up at the Jumbotron and saw how many yards he had, and he's like, man, I'm doing great, but let's just keep going and focus on this game. Like, we still need to get the win. And that's great to hear that he doesn't give a crap, you know, like some of the players on the other team maybe wearing number 11 or something that would care a lot about anything other than football. But we won't go there.
You could see him in his podcast, too, after the game. He was beat. But, man, all he kept saying was, do whatever the team needs me to do. Yep. Anytime they need me to do it, I'm out there doing my best for the team. So it was pretty cool. I definitely hyped the guys up, and he did the intro. You know, they all huddle around him, get him hyped intro. So let's have him do that shiz again this week. Get everybody hyped. Monday Night Football. Let's get him 300 yards, baby. Break Peterson's record.
Heck yeah, I'm down for that.
So what about defense?
Defensively, we're going to give this one to Eric Kendricks, another one we were missing last week that came back and had quite the game. 11 combined tackles, 1 sack, and 2 tackles for losses. So he's that field general that we've been missing. I mean, a lot of stuff was going through him. He was making plays happen. So puts him at 120 total tackles in the season. 67 of those are solo. 5 sacks and 2 interceptions. So then I'll just carry that in. Kendricks, dog. I'll carry his stats a little bit into the honorable mention because I don't think I mentioned this the last couple weeks, but it's just something we do around here, honestly. But the 5 sacks, we'll just play into that. The honorable mention, we're going to give it to the whole defensive line, which they all didn't get 5 total sacks, but our team got 5 total sacks on defense. It was insane. But the whole defensive line, and I'm talking really about Sheldon Richardson,
Tomlinson,
Armon Watts, we got Michael Pierce. I mean, those 3 alone made a huge difference. And then you got Tomlinson, P2 or not P2, but Patrick Jones the second was doing great. I mean, just a lot of names like that filling in great for people that we have out, like Daniel Hunter and everything.
After one of those sacks, they did the Griffin celebration. Sorry,
I was just gonna say
that was so cool.
Yep, Armon Watts actually did that. Yep, wanted to do that for Everson. So that was cool to see them, you know, caring for the rest of their team that's not there. Right. So the whole defensive line together, we had about 14 combined tackles, 3 sacks just by the line itself, and 1 forced fumble. So they really made Ben work and created plenty of pressure that was needed. Kind of, I mean, like we talked about, fell off in the second half a little bit. So one of the things we got to make sure is probably going to be addressed in the keys to VIKtory. Is you just got to make sure to play 4 quarters. You know, like we did great. Shut them out the first half. Got to make sure to just continue and not let up, and keep that pressure going. I mean, we made them uncomfortable. Got to keep doing that. And I love that they did it this last week, but we need to do it the full game this upcoming week. So, defensive line, dogs.
It's a good one. Unique. We're changing it up as we get deep into the season. Mixing it up, keeping people on their toes. So, cool. Well, next up, like Dee said, those sweet, sweet keys. Keys to VIKtory. Number 1, I think last week obviously, offensive performance was, phenomenal in the first half specifically. Second half kind of sputtered out, had a few punts and things like that, but I just think we got to stick to what works. Running the ball, throwing the ball. I know that's the whole entire offense and the whole design of it, but if we can get Cook over 100 yards and get the team total 150, and then having Cousins throw, 300 plus, those types of things, just keep our offense humming, keep getting points on the board, and that's how you win games. So when Cook goes over 100 yards, we've won basically every game this year. I think this Paul Allen was saying it's like 92 and a half or something like that. But get him over 100 yards, we usually do pretty well. And their pass defense has been terrible this year, so I think our offense is just going to have a great day. Jaylon Johnson, their number one corner, gave up 4 passing touchdowns last week to Rodgers and the Packers. So hopefully be able to exploit that. I cannot imagine that dude's going to be able to cover JJ at all. So that's number 1. Number 2, I threw in here Rattle the Rookie, going up against Justin Fields, obviously playing in his first season. Got to get pressure on him, just like we did Big Ben. So calling for 5+ sacks. I think I called that last week too. We got 5 sacks. Let's just keep on the 5-sack train. Vikes are number 1 in sacks on the season with 41 total sacks and 4th in pressure percentage, so the amount of times that we pressure the QB when they throw it. So our defensive line, even though we've had some players in and out, we're finding ways to get back there. And then the Bears are 31st in sacks allowed with 42, so they're definitely leaving some gaps in that O-line. So definitely exploit that this weekend or Monday night. Last, we kind of called for it last week. The third key we got to make a statement. It's our last shot at prime time. Rest of our games are noon games. So we got to go out there. We got to beat the Bears. We got to beat them handily. I got us to win by 8+. For us, that's handily. More than 1 touchdown. Just, let's take a knee at the end instead of having a final play that impacts the game. And then I added, because my wife just sent me a screenshot from something from Instagram, but we got to secure those final 2 minutes of both second quarter and the fourth quarter. They're putting out a image of if the Vikes didn't allow points in the last 2 minutes of the second quarter and the fourth quarter, we'd be 12-0. So obviously everyone knows that those are the important parts of the game. We got to be better. So like to see us be scoring points in those times. Even if it's a field goal, run out the clock. Let's not give them the ball back. So those are the keys from T's Money. So next up, looking at those players that this week, Monday night, got to keep our eyes on them. Got to stay awake. Got to be taking shots. Got to be drinking energy drinks. Keeping those eyes peeled to watch these 2 hands players to watch.
Oh, hey, that's me.
Woke him up. He was taking a quick nap.
A little healthier, Yeah, well, we'll dive right into it. Offensively, I've said it a couple of times. It's going to be kind of a classic player to watch. It's going to have to be Justin Jefferson. He's coming off of a slightly bad game, not necessarily statistically speaking. Still had a great game last week.
Yeah.
But he had a couple drops that were questionable. A couple of catches in the end zone. I think he should have had 3+ touchdowns. There's a couple of throws / catches in the end zone that he should have had. If he would have made those plays, they would have been pretty crazy catches. But still, it's Justin Jefferson. If he wants to be, and he is already, but if he wants to continue to be, that receiver that's really the best in the league, he's got to have those catches. Right. He's got to have
or at least one of them.
Yeah, right. And that in the whole aspect of that game would change.
Right.
If he had some of those catches, specifically that first one, right off his fingertips when he was running that deep route.
I almost had a heart attack.
Yeah, if he catches that game is not what it was at all. It changes the momentum and everything. And he had that one drop where it directly led, went through his hands into Steelers defender. It led directly to an interception. look for him to kind of turn that around. I think he's probably disappointed with himself, I would assume, based off of what I know from watching, his press conferences and, any other media that I can see about him. He's probably not happy with himself. He's probably going to come around and, have a better game. And like you were talking about, is the Bears defense is not good at stopping the pass. They're allowing over 200 yards, 24 touchdowns in the season through the air. So look for Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins to exploit that. Hopefully the coaching staff, obviously we've talked about that week in, week out. They realize that, and hopefully we have a lot of passing plays in the playbook this week. Specifically to Justin Jefferson. Not to say, I did see that Adam Thielen is hopeful to play this week, which is also pretty insane because a high ankle sprain usually keeps you out for 3-4 weeks as well. Hopeful to play this week. He didn't practice today. He's got until Monday, so he's got a lot of time to get healthy, rest up that ankle. So, even if he's back, doesn't matter who gets it.
Yep.
Watch Justin Jefferson, but hopefully we just get both of them. Doesn't matter who. I don't care if I'm wrong about the player to watch. Right. I just want to win games.
KJ played well last week too, so you can tell whoever's in there.
He did.
DD was out with COVID, but Emir Smith-Marset.
He's out this week too.
Yeah, let's put him in. I mean, we can see what happens. Cousins will put the ball on you, and worst case scenario, you still got Cook back there. Let's bring in Kenny too. I mean, it's not like there's a shortage of talent.
The Bears' run defense is also not good, so their defense is just not good.
Good. Let's score a bunch of points.
All right, we'll move right on into the defensive. The player to watch this week, I'm going to throw it at Harrison Smith this week. I feel like I haven't had him as a player to watch. He might have been a dog, but
I don't think so.
He is severely underrated. I've read about him last couple weeks here. He's an all-time great. I mean, that's what we're watching right now. He's a Hall of Famer, an all-time great safety. They don't come along that often. I was on the Minnesota Vikings subreddit, and some guy put on the comparison to Troy Polamalu versus like games played, interceptions, tackles, sacks, all the stats for safety. With like 30 less games that Harrison Smith has played, like games or interceptions and sacks per games, he's leading like all the stats besides like solo tackles.
Wow.
So
that's because we have Kendricks to do
that.
Yeah,
right. He's able to stop that, but again, he's an all-time great, and we're lucky to be able to watch him. So on that note, he's going to be the player to watch this week. Bears, Justin Fields alone, throwing a lot of interceptions this year. I have a total for the team at 16. I think like 14 of those are related or from Justin Fields. So I'm looking for 1 or 2 picks would be sweet. Maybe a pick 6. Bears also, Tyler talked about a little bit earlier. They're allowing a lot of sacks. Harrison Smith is great at that. He's also good at
sack on Ben.
Oh my god! I cannot believe Ben got up from that. Holy cow!
It was so great. Watching with Alyssa.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
I literally pointed at Smith on the screen. I was like, "Watch Harry," because he was coming. But you can tell if you know how he plays. You can tell if he's gonna go or if he's not. And I was like, "Watch Smith." He just comes right around the edge.
If I got hit like that, there's no way I'm getting up. There's no way.
He's a giant refrigerator.
Unbelievable.
And he held on to the ball too.
He's not mobile.
That's tough.
He's not mobile at all, but
that's a hell of a sack.
He's tough to bring down, and oh my god.
Yeah.
But that's what we need. We need someone to create a couple turnovers. So Harrison Smith.
Sick. Love it. On that, you said pick 6. Just gonna throw out because I watched the winning formula with our hero Paul Allen. The OG, and he said Kendricks has 2 pick 6s, and the Vikings' best in history for a linebacker is 3. Unfortunately, it's some obscure dude that I didn't actually know who it was, so I don't remember his name. But it's going to be Kendricks' record come Monday night because he's going to get a pick 6. Probably like 70 yards, too. One of the ones where you're just like rumbling by the end of it. It's like, I'm tired, but I'm still making it to the house, baby. Let's go. And that'll be me running around my pool, ripping off my cousin's jersey and doing a cannonball. anyways, got a little hyped. It's been a while since we've had a game, so I'm having withdrawals, a little bit itchy, a little bit scratchy. So, but tomorrow's Friday, coasting into the weekend. So
I like it. I like the vision. It's a good weekend for football in general. We got games tonight. We got games on Saturday. We got games on Sunday.
Yes,
we got our game, the most important game on Monday.
Yeah, actually, we should talk about, since we're in
more
8th place in the playoff standings, what games do we care about this weekend? I know we want Washington to lose. Who do they play? The Eagles, I think.
Let me pull up my fantasy league, and we'll see exactly who we want to win and lose.
Everyone does. Yeah. Redskins play the Eagles, and
I'm sorry, I don't believe you can use that term.
Yep, football team of footballers.
They're the football team.
Might be
very vague football team. The team of footballers.
Correct. Cool.
San Fran plays the Falcons.
There, but
we'd like them to lose as well.
Bringing you live info, cutting edge news. You got it here. Voices of Vikings podcast. All right, let's throw out some predictions. Let's talk about those man-bear pigs. Let's get out of here. I'll go first because I'm currently talking and I'm a blabbermouth. So I went big. Gonna score a lot. 41-13. I just think their defense is suspect. Our offense has been clicking. Doesn't matter who's in there. Cousins is gonna find them. Cook's gonna find the holes. Lots of touchdowns. Lots of shots. They'll score some field goals or something dumb. And Kendricks is gonna get a late third quarter pick six to put the nail in the coffin. Sold.
Love it. I love the high scoring. I went a little more conservative, just from kind of what I've seen, but who knows? Like we've been talking about, it is football. But I went 35-21. I'd like to see a defensive score there. I think they might have a garbage time touchdown, like I say every week. Hopefully, we go up early and they kind of just, have the, late fourth quarter touchdown that didn't really mean anything. So final of 35-21.
Nice. D?
So, for my prediction, I'm going to keep it real with you boys because I love you guys. I know I can keep it real with you. I was going to do some big blowout, and I really wanted to. But I said that last week, and I said that the week before. And we all know it's just
and
the Minnesota way.
And it's the week before.
That it's only right for me to give them a 31-24 victory. Only one touchdown. Let's be honest. Even if they go up 31-0, we always seem to find a way to just feel bad for the other team and say, all right, get some points. We're like, whoa, hold on. I said 1 or 2 touchdowns. And then they're just sitting there just like, no, I'm burying you. But Brennan, I'm alive. So I got 31-24 Vikes.
I can dig it. PA, our Lord and Savior PA said Greg Joseph walk-off field goal for the dub. So you guys are realistic. I'm optimistic. I can't help it. I'm rocking my new standing desk. Maybe that's why I'm extra hyped. Got extra blood flow. I got my Cousins "If I Die, I Die" shirt on. Maybe I'm feeling invincible. Maybe I'm an idiot. Who knows? Either way.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Either way, what I do know is that I have not been able to catch a Wild game since I think the last time we talked. Oh, we watched one Saturday and they got the L, unfortunately. But how are they doing? I think they're playing pretty soon, huh?
Yeah, they're playing, as of time recording this, they're playing in about 10 minutes here. They're playing the Buffalo Sabres tonight. Hopefully kind of get the train back on the track. They had a nice road trip. They were on an 8-game winning streak. The game that we watched was the Kings game in Los Angeles. They ended up losing that one to end that streak. They had that's right. It's hockey again. I think the streak to beat, the longest streak is 17. I don't know if that'll ever be beaten. That's absolutely insane. I mean, considering they only play 82 games in a year. And also for the second time this year, they played the Knights on a back-to-back in a road trip. The second game, they ended up losing that one as well. They were supposed to play on Tuesday against the Carolina Hurricanes. The Hurricanes had a bunch of COVID issues, so that game got postponed. I still believe that if you have that many COVID players, you should either have to bring up players from your farm team, and if that's also an issue, you should forfeit. I don't think that postponing should be a thing, but that's a whole nother conversation. Hopefully tonight they can get it back on track here with the game against the Sabres. They're not very good, so it is hockey again. Even with that skid, they're still tied for 4th best in the league. They're well on their way to playoffs. I think they have like a 98% chance to make playoffs.
Nice.
I know that doesn't mean much. They still got to win games once they get there. They're second overall in goals for, which is pretty exciting, even with being 4th best in the league.
Yep.
There's like 3 teams in the standings that are ahead of them that they've beat. Nice. So a couple games in hand. They're an exciting team to watch. Go Wild.
Nice. Hell yeah. Go Wild. Cool. Well, we did it. It had been a while. I felt a little rusty. We knocked the rust off, settled back in, had a nice time this evening, gents. As I always say, check us out on Spotify, YouTube, like us, subscribe us, all those things. I saw on our YouTube channel we had 2 views. Woo! It's pretty lit. Spotify, I think, had like 6. Yeah. Our market's on Spotify, so. But either way, we're having fun doing it, so we're going to keep doing it and then promote it. And yeah, so every like, every share helps. And as always,
SKOL VIKES!